an elder at the Coleyville Seventh-Day Adventist Church in Manchester, and I want to demonstrate to you how to properly complete the tithe envelope. But before I do so, I want to share with you briefly what the Bible has to say about tithes and offerings. A tithe, according to scripture, is 10% of whatever interest or earnings we have made. Offerings would be what you give freely. There's no particular percentage attached to offerings, and that's why many times it is referred to as a free will offering. You give according to how the Lord touch your heart and according to your blessings. So you may see something in the church that you think you want to contribute to, and so you give a free will offering to that. Now I want to just quickly demonstrate to you how to complete the tithe envelope, whether it is that you're giving a tithe or an offering. Alright, so this is what the tithe envelope would look like on the outside. It has the conference name and the address, the country, etc. So here in Jamaica, you'd find that is there. If you're in the United States, you may find that United States may be written there. It may look a bit different than this, but this is ours here in Central Jamaica. Now, at the bottom of the tithe envelope, there's a section that says local church. So if you're a local church, for example, my local church is Coleyville, so I write Coleyville right in this slot. Okay? Alright. So I'm going to go ahead and fill that out. Alright, so here I've written my local church name right in that slot. Now when I open the envelope, I go onto the inside, and on this first section here, it shows the allocation of your tithes and your covenant offering. Alright, so I will now move over to the section on my right side, and here it says name. Whoever it is that is making this contribution to the church or returning this tithe and offering will put their name here. So let's say your name is John Doe. You'd put John Doe. So John Doe is the giver. Where does John Doe live? John Doe lives in Coleyville. And Coleyville is in Manchester. On what day did John Doe give the tithes and the offering? So let's say it is Sabbath, the 29th of January. So we put the 29th of January, and it's year 2021, right? So you put the date there. Alright, receipt number, unit number, those can be left out, but for most of us as members in the church, we're assigned to a Sabbath school unit. You could put your Sabbath school unit there. Alright, okay. We then go now to looking at the tithes allocation. So if it is that you would have earned $100,000 for the month, you know, and you're returning 10% of that, you'd put the total amount here, which is $10,000. So you write that in. Okay, now after you have written that in, you go now and look at the covenant offering. So let's say out of that $100,000, I decided I'm going to give $5,000 towards offering. Then I will put my $5,000 here. That's an additional $5,000, okay? So I'm giving $5,000 as my covenant offering. Now, there are persons in the church who have special interests, and so there may be some special projects in the church that you want to contribute to. Maybe it would be just an annual special offering that you give. So it could be the beginning of the year, the end of the year, you want to give a special offering. You would then record the amount that you're giving here. Now let's say, for example, you want to give to the education fund of the conference. Here it says CJC, Central Jamaica Conference Education Fund. Now with the education fund, of course, you know, would go to assist needy students. So let's say, since I'm interested in education, I'm going to give $1,000 each month. So I give another additional $1,000. All right. Now let's say my local church is in construction, and therefore I feel the need to contribute to them. So I may be giving a special offering towards the church building, let's say I give another $1,000. Now, I'm not saying that you have to give all of this amount, because this may be at different times, but as you see the needs arise, you will want to fill that out. Okay? Now, suppose you want to give to something that is not listed here, because you have annual special offering, Central Jamaica conference, or whichever conference you're a part of, education fund, church building, the wheel, the NCU projects. I know NCUs are a university that will contribute to it from time to time. Children village project, other. Now, the other there would cover any area you want to contribute to that is not listed here. So let's say the other could be our online program. So I could write online program. So whatever expenses are incurred by us doing an online program, I will then make a contribution towards it, and that will be, let's say, another $2,000. Let's say $3,000. That I'm generous, so I'm gonna give $3,000. After I've done that, now I'm done giving for this month, okay, or for this period of time. I'm now going to add all the monies I'm contributing to tithes or to offering, and I will put the total here. So I have $10,000 for tithes, plus $5,000 for my covenant offering, and that is $15,000. Then I'm giving another $1,000 to the education fund, that's $16,000. $1,000 to my church building project, that's another $1,000. So now we have gone what? $17,000. Then I add to that another $3,000 for our online program, and I come to a grand total of $20,000. And I put it there. Now, after I would have done that, I must not forget to input my money in the envelope. Let's say this is my stack. This is my stack of $1,000 bills, all 20. I'm gonna now slip that into the envelope. For those of us who don't do cash, then we write our checks for the amount and we insert it into the envelope right here. And then you close your envelope. Seal it. Seal it. And when the deacon comes around for the offering on Sabbath, you would then insert this into the offering plate. Or if there are drop boxes at your church, then you do that. And you'd have completed the process of returning your tithes and your offerings. May God bless you, and may you continue to be a faithful servant, a good steward, one who returns to the Lord what is rightfully His.